Spoons, you're on already? Okay, I'm bringing spoons already. That's too quick.
Way too quick. I didn't to be on this quick. So that's too quick. I was like giving you some time. I don't even let people join yet. It's like and you're on already.
I'm quick.
You make a bar?
Do I what?
Make the makeup bar?
I got my makeup on still.
That was pretty fast.
Took my hair down.
You like wearing makeup? You like getting all dolled up?
I don't mind it. I don't mind it when someone else is doing it.
You like getting like so this is uh,
Your headphones are sounding muffled.
are they?
Is that better?
Yeah, that's way better.
Okay, I'll take them out. I'll take it out for you. See what I'm doing? So, you know what? We take for granted so much. I have 3 daughters and a wife, and like guys just go out. We're gonna get to. I have to introduce Nat and all this other stuff and talk about how great she is, but we just kind of go out and get taken. Like I can grow facial hair and cover half my face, and like there's you're like girls wake up and the eyes and this and the that and
Yeah, the most you have to do is put powder on.
I know. Yeah. Oh my God, you're so good. Anyways, I thought you'd come on a little bit later and have time to give you my introduction. I was actually when I was reading one of the favorite things Nat knows, I know her, so I was trying to find some dirt on her, and I was going through the Wikipedia and sites and watching videos and some hockey videos of her, and she just finished Battle of the Blades just now. But one of the fun things that I picked out, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but she's a Canadian ice hockey player playing for the now defunct Toronto Fury, which I thought was a great line. So we'll talk about that later. But anyway, she's the first player to play for the national team, the under-22s, the under-18s, owns a high-performance hockey academy for girls, competed in the Amazing Race, finished second. I don't want to bring something up here, but Battle of the Blades finished.
Yeah, I got a problem.
Second.
Yeah.
2 golds, 7 silvers.
Oh, yeah.
1 bronze.
Talking about Olympics.
But Hall of Fame, University of Ohio, not a bad little resume. So we're gonna get to all that later. I just wanted to thanks so much for doing this. She just came off the show. How was it? How'd you feel to kick my partner off?
Oh my gosh, it was the worst. Like I didn't even think like judging was gonna be, I thought like the figure skating part was like the hardest thing I would have done last season, and then get asked to judge. I was like, I get to sit on the sidelines, I get to watch these people who have worked their butts off, and I just get to sit back and give them a grade. But when it comes to kicking someone off, it is the worst feeling ever. Because Scott and Elash don't know how hard that person has worked. I know how hard that person has worked and how bad they want it.
Well, how much of an ass are you to kick my partner off, Violetta, she gets kicked off every year and you just take this, V. That was just stone cold.
You know what? I love V. Like, she was the first person I met when they announced that Battle of the Blades was coming back last season. We went to an announcement that they were announcing the show was coming back, and she was the first figure skater I met. Like, I'd obviously met Andrew and Eric at the Olympics, but she was the first figure skater that I'd met, and I was wearing heels that night. And I remember meeting V, and she came up to me, and they were like, Natalie's going to be on the show, and she was so small, and she came up to me and she looked up and she went, "Who?" And then looked down, and she was like, on the show. Like, she was so shocked that I was going to be that tall and that big on the show. Her Russian, she just went, "Who?"
I know.
And I was like, oh no, what did I get myself into?
I always before we go through tonight's show, you and I always have a drink together. Last year we were on the show together, which I think was a little BS that you cheated to get me eliminated, which you went on to finish second. So I called you last week, and I was just checking in on you. How's the show going? Blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, tonight's a fun night. We're going to do, now, I think you said you're doing apple cider. So
it's not called apple cider. It's called cider.
Cider. So hold on. Am I doing this right? Is it not like this, or is it just cider? Because I just called someone.
That's right.
I called someone before the show. I called someone before the show and said, yeah, it's supposed, they're like, no, it's supposed to be warm. No, it's just like a beer, right?
Yeah, just a beer. Yeah.
Okay.
Like a hard cider.
Okay, so I take this
Yes.
and I put it in a glass.
Yes, exactly.
Do I fill it all the way up? What do I do? What are the rules?
leave some space. Leave some space.
Okay. And then
But like you can like
this is a spooner now. This is now a new drink called the Spooner. I'm helping everybody else at home. Over the Christmas holidays, sit around, kick your feet up, watch some figure skating, watch Battle of the Blades, and you know what? Have a Spooner watching Spooner. So now she said get Fireball, which always leads to problems. But Fireball is
yeah,
right.
it's like an apple cinnamon drink.
Okay, so how much do I put in?
You just put a shot in. You got like half a cider there, throw a shot in.
Okay. Hold on. Let me put it down so I don't spill. Do you drink before going on air?
No.
Just checking. That's the right answer. Okay, tell me when.
Am I really supposed to tell you when?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so this is called the Spooner.
Okay, let me know what it tastes like. If you like it.
Oh. That's good.
It's
Yeah.
like apple cinnamon.
Yeah.
Right?
That's good. We have something here. We have a Spooner. We gotta, we have to create this.
Already made, like already canned. We should create that.
We're creating Hey, I'm gonna get on someone right away.
Spoon.
We got to get on this right. I'm making notes. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, the stocked up spoon.
The stocked up spoon.
Yeah.
Stocked spoons.
Spoon stocked? Stocked up.
Spoon stocks.
Spoon stocks?
PJ Spoons.
We'll think on that one.
Anyways, okay. So you go through tonight. What's harder? Sitting up there and being a judge or being sent actually, you know what? Let me do this. What is this is fantastic, by the way. Is there so many you can have in a night before things go on, or like
spicy spooner? Someone said that's good too because it's kind of like a spicy cinnamon.
Yeah, but then PJ doesn't have his name in here. Yeah. Like I'm the promoter. Spoon stock. No, spoon stalker. Yeah, I gotta be part of this. It's my brilliant idea. Well, it's your brilliant idea, but I'm selling it. I guess I get shares in the company.
We'll put like your face somewhere on the can, like hidden, maybe underneath.
Underneath. Hey. In the bum of the beer is where you find my face. Yeah. So, okay, we talked about a little bit about nervousness, and I know exactly what you're going through. But you've been on crazy stages that I've never had the opportunity of ever being on. But going from Battle of the Blades as a skater to a judge, from the amazing race to a college game to Olympics, under 18s. Is there facing off against me and Battle of the Blades? What's been can you remember a moment that you were the most nervous ever?
Oh, yeah. 2014 Olympics. My first ever Olympics gold medal game. I felt sick from my tips of my toes to the top of my head. Like, I've never been more nervous in my life for, like, that gold medal game in 2014. Because it was, like, my first Olympics. It was, like, the biggest thing I've ever done, right? Like, obviously, I'm nervous, like, when I had to go on Battle of the Blades and stuff like that, but, like, I had never been that nervous.
Like, did you start? Did you start the game?
I don't think so. I don't remember, but I'm going to say no.
No. Well, I was going to say, do you remember standing at, when I'm nervous, or when I was nervous, I didn't start a lot of hockey games because I'm like a fine wine, right? Coaches wanted to save me for double overtime. That's why they always saved me. Little did they know there was only one overtime in the hockey games. They were just always thinking ahead. So I didn't start much, I didn't play much. But one of the things was when I did start, when they kind of like made an error signing the score sheet, they meant to put 24 and they put 42 and I'm starting. I just feel standing at the blue line is way more nerve-wracking than standing on the bench. It's like everyone's looking at you. And then you know, when the camera comes past you, 2014 was Sochi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the camera slides past you and you're like, don't pick your nose, don't cough, you know, don't move, don't just try and look pretty, try and look intense, give them a game face, and then they're gone. It's like,
So you
but,
don't like starting. See, for me, I actually like starting because then you get that first shift out of the way.
oh, I
And the
like
first
starting.
shift is always
I
good.
like starting. I love starting. I problem is my coaches didn't want me to start. They like
Oh.
this. Yeah, they just like, let's save them. And like they didn't want to tire me out too often, so they only played me a few shifts a game.
Yeah,
They wanted to keep me for the 5th round of the playoffs.
there you go.
Yeah.
That's when you shine.
Yeah, I was fantastic. So tonight, let's go back to tonight. Battle of the Blades. You're a judge. You looked. I sent you a text before, which I will say, you look beautiful tonight. I never give you compliments. I'll give you one later. You look spectacular tonight. So I was
a great stylist.
Yeah, it was. You look beautiful. You look beautiful tonight, and it's fun because my daughters are like your biggest fans. Like their biggest fans. So they look at you and they love you, and you're so athletically gifted and beautiful and everything and smiley, and it's everything a kid playing sports looks up to be. And you're like, it was perfect tonight. You're like taking it out of your Team Canada uniform and the figure skating and everything and the hockey jersey, and you're up there on stage. And it was, were you a witch? Because you had the wings on the back.
I was an angel.
Oh, with black
like
wings?
A dark angel. Like I was gonna wear a thingamajig, a halo, and have a wand, but I'm not sure where an angel wears wand. But I just had like the wings were enough. Just it was just simple. But I was an angel.
Is there a chance you're both back on the show next season? Spoons, you are awesome at figure skating from NHL wives, girlfriends, and family.
We've been practicing together.
Yeah. We're coming back next year, her and I, and she's gonna lift me, and I'm gonna do jazz hands because that's about the extent of my figure skating. So so you have to judge. You're on with Elage, and you're on with Scott Moyer, and you're on the panel. And you have to judge people that A, you've played with, B, you've kind of idolized, and we'll go through that, and C, your partner from last year. So who's harder to judge? Botterill, who's someone you grew up kind of idolizing. You played with Jessica, and you also played with Megan, and you also skated with Andrew Poje last year, so who has fantastic hair. Who's the hardest to give a bad mark to?
You know what? They're all so hard to judge because they're the best, like some of the best athletes in the world. All of them. So like all of the figure skaters are like the best figure skaters you've ever seen. And the hockey players are some of the best hockey players that have played or are still playing. So it is so hard to tell these people like, oh, you're a 5.4, you're a 5.6. Like, how do you put a judge on that when you know how hard they're working, how hard they're trying? Like, that's really the hardest thing. Like, for me, it just comes down to like, what are some of the moves that I thought were hard? How entertaining it was. What was I able to do in that amount of time, and what they're doing on week 1 and week 2. Like, it's pretty crazy, some of the things that they've pulled out. It's actually amazing. But it's a hard job to be a judge for sure.
How do you, I was a judge, and before, when I was a judge, I just kind of gave marks on 2 things. A, entertainment value, because there was so much going on that I didn't really get. And the other thing I gave marks on were people that can do things that I just couldn't do. And I'd be like, that's awesome. I'm giving them a check mark, an extra check mark, and an extra check mark. What's something that, when you're looking at it, what do you base your mark on? And actually, what wows you, and what do you base your mark on?
So I think for sure, like, entertainment factor for me wows it. And like when I see that the skater or the hockey player is like so into it, because like when I skated, like I was into it, but I know like that is totally out of some people's comfort zone to be like into it, to be singing along, to be dancing along, to be smiling, to be like acting. Like, that is totally not some people. So when they get into it, I love that. Like when
Bickle was awesome tonight. They were actually Bickle was Brian Bickle, for those that are listening, Brian Bickle finished his career, had to stop, was in Carolina, had MS, and he's on the show. Christopher Steeg's on the show. Andrew Stewart was the one that was let go tonight. Akeem Aliu's on the show as well. We got Jennifer Botterill, Jessica, Akeem Aliu, Eric Radford with Jen Botterill, Christopher Steeg, Stewart, Megan Augusta, and Jessica Campbell. Voltek Wojcicki, who's another one that was in character. And you're right, when they're in character, and it's so hard to be in character.
Yeah.
And it just sells it that much more.
Because like for you to be in character, but also to be thinking of all the steps and everything you need to do. Like you need to almost like just be so good that you know all your steps and you know everything you're doing so you can actually like be that character and be in the moment. Right? Like you have to get over that hump of like skating and knowing your moves and your skating to like do that. And if you're able to do that, like it's amazing what these skaters are doing.
So your vote, you were the last vote today. Who do you guys, how does that, do you guys pick how that goes, or just kind of, you guys go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and it just ended up on you that moment?
Yes, it ended up on me, and I was stressed.
Do you get nervous before you have to say something to someone, or how, like, or do you just like,
You know what? It's cold in the rink, so I can't tell if I'm just cold or if I'm nervous. I'm a little shaky, but I just say it, right? Like it's cold. I don't know if it's nerves or if it's cold, but no, like I watch and I kind of just feed off of what I feel. And the good thing about this season is I know a lot of the people, which is kind of crazy. Like I know all the hockey girls. I trained at the gym with Christopher Steeg. I trained with Anthony's brother, Chris Stewart, also at ETS. So I've trained with them. Like Brian Bickle trained at the same gym. I was always too nervous to go talk to him, but he trained there.
Would you not be like, you have a drink named after you, the Spooner? Like, how do you not walk up to these guys and be like, hey, I'm Spoons. Maybe you haven't heard of me, but first girl to ever play on the international team. Sorry, the international team, the under-22s, the under-8 teams. I'm kind of a biggie in my Ohio State Hall of Fame. I can keep going on. I was on Battle of the Blades. I'm a judge. I actually was a skater back in the day. I was also on was Canada's Race, Amazing Race. I'm kind of everywhere. Why wouldn't you walk up to them and be like, I'm the big dog?
Well, you don't want to like interrupt someone's workout.
Yeah, you can. I think you can.
It's like their time.
So, okay, let's go to working out. But first of all, Battle Blades, everyone, if you've missed it, 8 o'clock every Thursday. And it's an amazing show. And one of the things why Nat and I both love the show, I'm working on it behind the scenes. And Nat is a brilliant talent, skater and judge. It's all these guys and women taking themselves out of their comfort zone to do something for somebody else. So it's a figure skate. If you're in the States right now, if you're going to see this at some point, it's a hockey player teamed up with a world-class figure skater, ex-hockey player, besides Akeem Aliu, who just is still playing, which is the first player to do so, which is still really amazing. You take a player.
The first player?
The first player that's still playing.
What about myself?
Oh, sorry. Actually, that is
the first guy.
You're sorry. Actually, I got to tell the Natalie Spooner story better than anybody. So, she's a better skater than all of us in hockey skates, and B, she was a better skater than all of us in figure skates. And the crazy thing was, I can't believe I'm forgetting this, which is crazy. She would go and do a practice of figure skating during the day and then play a hockey game at night. And I can't believe I've been selling it. Last year, that's all we talked about every day was your transition from hockey skates to figure skates. And you did it every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day.
Yeah, and on weekends I'd leave for the tournaments.
Damn, PJ, you're doing so well. I forgot. I've been actually saying that to everyone too. Damn you! It's the stupid Spooners that threw with my mind.
That's okay.
Oh my
Okay,
God. Anyways,
he's the
so
first
Hakeem,
guy.
so yeah, so but the coolest thing is, and then we all do this, or all the skaters do this, and the hockey players like Nat, like Hakeem, like Anthony Stewart tonight, like Christopher Stieg, like Wojtek Wojcicki, like uh, Campbell, all the skaters go out of their comfort zone to raise money for charities across Canada. So it's an amazing show with amazing people on it, on the ice, as coaches, as choreographers, and behind the scenes. So yeah, if you have a chance to catch it, Thursday nights at 8 p.m. And one of the coolest things that you can do as well is don't just watch it. You can donate to any of the charities as well. You have a couple. I know it's crazy times. I know we're in a pandemic, and I know a lot of us are strapped for a lot of things. But a couple bucks goes a long way. So just a little bit of love, and any way you can support a great show doing some great things for amazing people. So
and you can also vote for your favorite pair or favorite charity until 3 a.m. tonight. So make sure you get your votes in to save that pair.
So it's till 3 a.m. tonight,
Yeah.
a.m. time. Sorry, Eastern Standard Time, right? Or is it
Yes,
Pacific time?
Eastern Standard. Yes.
Okay. So who should I vote for?
I don't know. They were all great.
You brought up you brought up training. You brought up training. So again, explain what your schedule is like now. So Wednesday is more or less we get together for the pre-show, and then Thursday is the show. But your week when you have your training stuff for the Olympics.
Yes. So I'm in the gym like every day of the week, other than show days. And what, like right now it's a little bit different because we're filming, but normally like I do some workouts at home now because of show and battle, but normally I'd be in the gym every day of the week. And then I skate Monday morning, I skate Tuesday, Wednesday night with the PWHPA, Thursday with Team Canada, and Friday with the PWHPA. But it's kind of been moved a little bit around now because of COVID and going back into stage 2. But we're just skating throughout the week, and then weekends off until we can get back to playing some games.
So what's training like for you? Like give me in the gym. What's in the gym like for you?
Wearing masks, very small groups. So there's a group of 5 of us, so 4 other Team Canada players, and we're in there, the 5 of us training together. And we've kind of like, we obviously wear masks while we're in there, but we've made this pact that like no one is going out anywhere. Everyone is being very safe and staying at home, and just so kind of we've gained that trust that even though we're wearing masks, like they don't know how this COVID sometimes is getting transmitted. So just making sure that we're being extra safe.
I owned a gym like 10 years ago, and one of the funny things was at the time there was these masks that people were wearing. Like this buddy of mine, Christoph, comes in with a mask on one day, and he's training in it. I'm like, "What are you doing?" It's like, as if I'm training at altitude. And now we're all kind of training at altitude because we all have to wear masks. So
Yeah.
Training for a day in the gym is what? Like, my daughters are listening right now. So what's a day in the gym for a Natalie Spooner? Like what are some exercises? What is a grind for an Olympian, a Battle of the Blades judge, a fashionista, an angel, a dark angel, or what was it? A dark angel?
Well, I had dark wings, so
Dark wings. So what's the day? What's the grind like?
Dark angel. I don't know. I had black wings, purple dress. I don't know.
What's the grind like?
They told me I was an angel, so. But my day. So normally like Monday, Wednesday, Fridays are lifts. Tuesday, Thursdays are more plyos and some conditioning.
So lifts.
So, myself, I need to really work on like explosiveness, quickness. So I've been doing a lot of like split squats, single leg squats, but like trying to be quick, maybe not as heavy. Like, I've kind of got that base strength, but trying to make, my muscles a little bit quicker. So like if it
this is great.
me, right,
Explain it too, because I think the biggest thing that kids don't understand, and my daughter Peyton, if you're listening, listen to Natalie Spooner. She plays for Team Canada. She's in the Hall of Fame. She is everywhere. Listen to her. The whole thing about sports is not about how fast you are. It's how quick you are. It's about getting to that puck that's 2 feet away, like once you get going to your full speed, you're going full speed. But how quickly can you get to that full speed is the secret to sports in anything. It's that 1-2 step. It's that explosiveness. It's that boom. And that's something that a lot of people don't really understand. So you're working on that right now.
Yes. So
even though you're an Olympian and you're in the Hall of Fame and you're still working on these things on the daily.
Yeah, like I would say I'm a fast skater, but I wouldn't say I'm the quickest. So like in the corners, quick turns, first few steps, those are the things that I need to work on. I think like with my body size, like I've kind of gotten away with just protecting the puck, but the game is getting so fast and so good now. So for me to be able to work on, you know, those first few steps and getting that explosiveness, it's been a great summer of training that. And I've trained now with Dan Noble, and he's been awesome, just like getting me into like kind of that explosiveness and working on, you know, jumps and anything else that I kind of need. Oh, Poge saying my
I was just writing it down. I took my pad out to actually write down. Poge's also saying that you're an amazing judge. So that's what you do. You suck up to the judge on an Instagram.
Yeah, he picked me up. And then he's telling that the figure skating skills that he helped me learn should help my hockey skating. Little did he know, when I went to go back to hockey skates, I fell so hard into the boards.
Some of the girls that I spoke to from Montreal, but that's because you were still doing it back to back, which was amazing.
Yeah, still going
which I forgot. Which you're laughing at me. Okay, the question, because I get stuck in this question a lot, and I get asked it since doing Battle of the Blades. And Poge's on, so we got to watch how we say this. What do you think about putting kids in figure skating when they're younger, or do you think figure skating should be incorporated into skills? Like my kids have skills practices every week, like learning how to stick handle, learning how to shoot. But I think the most important thing is the skating aspect. Do you think there should be any part of figure skating added into practice for a player, a guy, a girl, a woman, a man?
For sure. I think, like, obviously the blades are so different. Like when I was on my figure skates, I felt so good on my edges by the end that when I came back to my hockey skates, I almost felt like I had no edges. But I also think, like, growing up, like I did so much power skating, and even like between 2014 and 2018 Olympics, like Hockey Canada harped on me and I still was doing power skating. So I think that there's so many different things that even figure skaters do that like us hockey players don't do that can cross over, that I think we should kind of, obviously the connection has been made more so now. You have the Barb Underhills, you know, that are coming over and working with the Leafs and bringing that side. And I've got to work with Barb a bit. But I think it's something that you should never stop working on. Like skating, you watch like Connor McDavid, and he's able to separate himself from the game because of how fast he is and his first few steps. And he has so much time to make decisions. Like he could be like the slowest in the head, but because he's so fast, it doesn't matter. Right?
Andrew Poge, we're talking about Poge. He just incorporates his fundamentals are great, but need to be related to hockey specifics to a certain extent, right? There is edge work, and then he's right though, but it has to be put into where would you use them and where would you not use them? For
sure. Like the other day at practice, I was like doing a little spin and trying to get on my little ball with my foot, and I was like, but if I did this in a game, someone would just knock me right over, right? Because you're on like the tiniest little bit of blade. But if you could do a mohawk and keep that stability, and you watch Poge in a mohawk and he's holding someone on top of him, like that stability, right? Like if you could do that, and if you could do a mohawk like Sidney Crosby does a mohawk and is able to escape, and how solid he is in that mohawk. Or they may call it a spread eagle in figure skating.
No, we call it 2 and 10 almost, or whatever, spread eagle.
You know, but like,
no,
that's the kind of stability that like you can see how it crosses over.
So 2 things. I have a friend of mine just texted and wrote how much Ringette helped when they were younger as well. And Adam Oates, one of the greatest passers to ever play the game after myself. Adam, I think he's in the Hall of Fame. My calling's coming sooner or later. But Oatesy, a lot of time he does skill teaching now in hockey. And one of the things that he does is he teaches the hockey players to use a ringette. So they
Oh.
use a ringette ring and the stick without
Oh.
so what that teaches though is chest, and you can stick handle with the ring on your stick and look where things have to go and still move instead of
To keep your head up.
keep looking down the box there, because that's when we skate so much. And the whole secret is, we talked about explosiveness earlier and speed. But having the confidence of knowing it's down there and having your body in the right position is everything. So anyways, we can go on and talk about this already, but I'm having my spooner, and this is spectacular. You're doing all this training. Is there going to be an Olympics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're trying to figure out how to have the Summer Olympics, and I've heard that they're going to go off whether in a bubble or not. So, I mean, fingers crossed. The Winter Olympics are still a bit of ways. So, they should, if everyone, is safe and taking precautions, and we can kind of get back to some kind of normalcy, then hopefully, I mean, I think the Olympics would bring a lot of hope and a lot of joy to a lot of people around the world. And I think a lot of people tune in. So, I mean, my fingers are crossed that it's going to be able to happen.
Would you play in a bubble? Like yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think all the other countries would be willing to, let's say they put all of you in a bubble at the same time? Like, would you all be able to live in the same, because I've been to the Olympic villages. It's chaos. It is fun, and every country has their own little area, but there's so much going on.
Yeah.
Is there any way you guys could think you can just all hunker down for 2 weeks?
Yeah, for sure.
And if there's one country that wouldn't hunker down, who would they be?
I don't know. Like, it's hard to say. Like, I feel like the U.S. right now would be like the safe bet to say, because I feel like they're just going on with their regular lives. But I know when it comes to the Olympics that everyone would take it very seriously. And like, I guess that would just be the rule, right? If you want to play, you got to, quarantine here and stay in the bubble. I mean, we're kind of already in a bit of a bubble at the Olympics anyways, because we're in the village and we don't really go many places because you're practicing every day. There's so much going on already. So it's not like you would be probably missing out on too much, other than like the odd time you get to see your family around the village.
So I have a few things I wanted to get to with you. Actually, I wrote notes down that I actually got to read these things because I make sure that I'm right with them. I'll do this one first, because I want to talk about the PWPA after. I'm going to give you some love for a quick second. In the last 15 years, not even 15, would be about 13, I guess, rewrote the record books in the University of Ohio State, in their Hall of Fame. Countless times traveling the world, representing your country, Bow the Blades, skaters a judge, amazing race, many more. Today, you're announced as the ambassador for the Blind Hockey League. How does that happen?
So, Canadian Blind Hockey, it would have been probably 4 or 5 years ago. I got to meet a man who played on the blind hockey team. I was actually out in Nova Scotia, and then I got to go and drop the puck at one of their championship games and hand out the medals. And for me to see them playing firsthand, it was amazing. I mean, you think about how hard the game of hockey is already to be,
I don't want to be, hold on. I don't want to be an ass here. And I'm this is going to come out so wrong. And anyone listening is going to be asking the same question. So how do blind people play hockey is the question that anyone's going to be asking. And I don't want it to come out wrong, but you've seen it, so explain it to me.
Yeah. Okay, so there's still 5 players on each team. There's a goalie, and their puck is a lot larger, and there's a rattle inside. So they can hear the puck as it's moving across the ice. The forwards also don't go all the way back, and the defense don't go all the way up. And then the goalies.
How do they know where they're going though?
So players are normally not like fully blind. Some defense may be fully blind. The goalies are fully blind. And the tops of their nets are, you can't score on the top of the net, only the bottom. So they really are like so good because they're really just listening for that rattle. And then literally it looks like regular hockey. Like they would, hear the puck instead of seeing the puck is really the way that they would play. And getting to watch it, like they're great skaters. They're really talented. And I was so surprised. Like I was kind of in your shoes. Like I had no clue what it was going to look like and how they would even be able to find the puck. But getting to see it firsthand, like it was amazing. And so a little while ago, blind hockey has gotten a lot bigger in Canada, and there's way more players that are playing now. So for me to become an ambassador, and I got to be the first ever ambassador, it got announced today. And I'm really excited to kind of see where this sport can go, because there is a lot of people, who maybe aren't born blind, but, develop blindness over their lifetime. I mean, there's some pretty like amazing players when they were younger that develop blindness and that are still so skillful and are able to continue playing hockey, which is like amazing because this was like their game, right? Like there's so many kids that love the game of hockey, and then even if they were born blind and developed, like everyone should have the chance to play hockey. Like you played hockey, I played hockey, like it's the best game ever. Like you learn not only about hard work, but teamwork. You get to have friends. You get to like learn about winning, learn about losing. Like there's just so much that hockey can bring to like your life. So, everyone should be able to play that. And I think that that's kind of something that when I got asked to be an ambassador for blind hockey, I was like, oh yeah, like they should be playing, like no question. Like let's grow this. Let's make sure that everyone who wants to play hockey is playing.
You just celebrated your 24th birthday a couple weeks ago. So
21
yes.
for life,
Yes. What is the one thing that you look back at hockey and you're maybe looking forward to that you're going to be the most proud of what hockey taught you?
Man, it's tough. I think it would probably be like work ethic. Like I've realized now that I'm a pretty determined person, that when I set my mind to something, like I make it happen no matter what. Like I will put myself out there and make it happen. And I think
that to you, or you had it yourself? Because I've played with a lot of players, and I mean a lot of players that just don't get work ethic. Like there's a lot of players that you've surpassed at different levels. I've had the opportunity of making it to a higher level in hockey without a lot of skill set. But there's a lot of players that should be there that just don't make it. And I think the one thing that we all don't have the same skill sets. We all don't have the same size. We all don't have the same speed. We're all given a chance to have the same work ethic. And it's what are you willing to push yourself to do? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I find not enough people, I don't know if hockey taught it to you, as you said it did, but I don't know why enough people don't understand that is a dividing factor in so many decisions as to why a player would make that team.
You know what? I don't know if there's a for certain answer to that, but I think a lot of it does. Like sports are hard. Like there's going to be times when you're cut. There's going to be times when you aren't good. And it's about kind of how you come back from that, right? Like I wasn't centralized for the 2010 Olympics, and it was devastating. And I could have packed it in then and said, oh, well, I'm just not going to go to the Olympics. I'm going to finish my university and I'm going to get a job. Right?
So, what do you tell someone that wants to quit hockey after getting cut? Because that happens all the time.
Right.
Like you just said.
I quit hockey when I was 5 years old and I got back into it. Like, I think it's about if you love the game, then play it. Right? Like I think at the end of the day, like you don't need to be the best. You don't need to go to a world championship. You don't need to go to the Olympics. But if you're passionate about it and you love it and you want to get better at it, then keep playing. And I think for me, I love the game, right? Like, and it's kind of like my release and my competitive side that when I get on the ice, like I get to just go and try to beat people, and I hate being beat. So like, that's why I love playing the game of hockey. But I mean, it's not for everyone, and I don't think it should be for everyone, right? Like everyone has different loves and different passions, and like I've met some hockey players that were hockey players that have gone into amazing things in other aspects of their life, but I'm sure that hockey did impact them some way, and they learned something through hockey, right?
So who did you, how about this? I'll get to this in a second, but who did you look up to when you were younger? Who was someone you idolized or wanted to
There was a lot of
copy?
people. Like when I was really young and I didn't know that there was girls hockey, I had 3 older brothers who played hockey, and those were like 3 guys that I looked up to, and I was just trying to be like them. Like they were obviously better than me, but I would always like somehow hurt them on the outdoor rink in my backyard, like break their nose or give them a black eye or something somehow. But when I was 11 years old, I went to a hockey school with another girl that ended up playing on Team Canada with me, Tara Watchhorn. And we got to meet Jennifer Botterill, who's on Battle of the Blades this season. And it was right after she came back from the Salt Lake Olympics. So it would have been 2001. So I would have been 11, or just turning 11. And got to see her gold medal and take a picture with her. And that was kind of the moment that I was like, wow, like she can win a gold medal, and there's women that do this, and there's people like me. I could be like her. And that was kind of the moment for me, and even for Tara, that we were like, wow, like we want to do that. Like, let's work really, really hard. You know, and even though I said like, let's work really hard and I want to do that, like never did I ever think it would actually come true. I just kept working my butt off and hoped, like there's still, I think like as much as like, yeah, you can work your butt off and keep pushing, like there's got to be a few good timing and stuff for you to make big teams. Like, but I just worked as hard as I could. And I mean, it didn't work out in 2010, but 2011, I came back and made the team.
So Jen Botterill, okay, one of your idols growing up, or heroes, or whatever you want to classify it as. Mm-hmm. 2 weeks in a row, you've given her the lower of the marks on the scales.
You had to bring this up?
This week, you gave her a 5.5, and Moyer gave her a 5.6. Last week, you gave her a 5.2. I think the boys gave her a 5.3. So do you have something against your heroes?
No. Did I have to give the marks first or something?
Okay. So I told you before, my kids love you. They love you. But you're a role model now. Like whether or not you want to be, you get put into that position because of what you do and on the platform that you are on, and the success that comes with being on that platform and continually have success. So what's it like to be a role model?
Oh boy. I don't know if it's really like anything. Like, I don't think you ever expect to be a role model. Like, I think the good thing about being a hockey player and being a role model is that you have seen so many role models come before you. Like, you've got to play on a team with some of the best female players around. Like, I got to play with Haley Wickenheiser. I got to play with Carolyn Millette. I got to play with Jana Hefford. And I got to see how they held themselves and how they talked to people, how they trained, and kind of mold myself and pull pieces of each of them and seeing, how do they encourage their teammates? How do they train every day to be the best that they can be? And I think it's really looking up to those people and seeing, okay, well, also being myself, but taking pieces of everyone and seeing, okay, well, let's see how I can be. But at the end of the day, like being a role model is just being yourself, right? Like if I'm myself and I'm my best self that I can be on every day, then that's going to be what people can hopefully look up to. And I'm sure it's not going to be for everyone because I'm me, but that's me. And that's kind of what you're getting every day.
So you mentioned Jen Botterill. Can I get for a second quote today? Before I do, I put out a little questionnaire thing and I had some people send me questions. Mitchell Marcos, this is their Twitter handles or whatever. Hockey skates or figure skates?
Hockey skates.
Ice spin, EIS pin. Who was your favorite brother?
Oh, who said that? That's my brother said that.
I know it's your brother. So now you got to say which is your favorite brother.
Said that.
Which one?
I have no favorite brother.
You have to pick. You have to pick it. My mom is watching. We don't lie on this show.
Yeah, but I have all my favorite brothers.
Oh.
I'm the favorite sister.
Yeah. Steve Allard, what other sports you played growing up?
I played competitive soccer. So like outside of school, I played competitive hockey and soccer were my two sports. I also did dance until grade 7. And then I did swimming. Like in high school, I did every sport possible, but
Yeah.
I love swimming. Like I think if I wasn't a hockey player, I would love to have been a swimmer.
I recommend that to everyone. I hate the way sports are going nowadays for kids. You got to pick one sport and just playing it. It's just awful. The people that run sports now, I don't think they were athletes when they were younger. It's just
Yeah.
let these kids become athletes and then specialize. Instead, right now, they're taking them out of every other sport and making them focus on one.
They're
And
gonna burn out.
They're going to burn out. Yes.
Yeah.
And they're going to hate that sport at some point.
Yeah.
Let them enjoy all the sports and learn to control their body way more. So you're doing swimming. You're doing one's this, the other one's soccer, the other one's it just teaches you just how to control your body so much better. And I mean, I went shelf on Brodeur, and you got a whole bunch of Olympic medals, so it kind of worked out a little. I went backhand shelf. I don't. Anyways, so Hannah Finkelstein says updates on the PWHPA that's coming up in a second. That's what we're going to finish on.
Okay.
Bernie Marcotte says, how bad is your career sunken to have to do this with PJ?
How much is what?
How bad is your career sunk to have to do this with PJ?
Oh.
Okay.
Hey, PJ's nice.
Yeah, Alex Reski is I believe she's younger. One day wants to be an amazing hockey player like you. So say something nice to Alex.
Oh, Alex, keep working hard. You're going to get there. I think if you can go to bed at the end of the day knowing you have no regrets and that you worked hard, that's all you can do. And have fun, because fun is, why are we playing hockey if it's not fun?
2 times yesterday. What's it like coaching alongside Scott Moyer?
Scott is the pro. He's figure skated for much longer than I have. But he's a lot of fun. He knows all the
You're on the same spot. He's a judge. You're a judge.
I know, but he knows the sport. I know the hockey side. And I actually was in the competition, so I know how the hockey players are feeling.
Yeah,
I got the hockey players' backs.
You can one-up Scott Moyer. Susan Grand, what is Natalie Spooner doing in 10 years?
Oh, 10 years. Maybe broadcasting. I would love to get into broadcasting. Maybe host my own show. I think my dream job would be to host my own show like Ellen DeGeneres.
Our show. Our show.
Okay.
With these
stocked
Spooner.
up on spoons.
Stock spoons.
Stocked up on spoons?
Yes. That's the show name. That's it right there.
Stocked up on spoons.
Yes. And now that I'm a producer.
I have a spoon backdrop.
So I'm going to read this, everybody. So work with me here, okay? S. Bucket, hello from Boston. I'm guessing me or you, one of the two. I was in Boston more than you, but you got all the goals and the championships. We got to wrap this up in about 10, but what happened with the women's hockey leagues in the last couple of years, it kind of divided, split, and they've kind of gone away the last little while. And I have 3 young daughters wanting all to be like Natalie Spooner, but there's no hockey right now, and they can't go see her play besides the Olympics. It's been going on the last couple of years, but today, Haley Wickenheiser, who's been amazing for Canada this last couple of years during the pandemic, so lots of love to Haley. But one of the things that she put out today is women's hockey. I'm going to read this, so no big words, hopefully. Women's hockey has been its own worst enemy in recent years, with division and split of the 2 leagues. The answer on how to move forward is a true professional league partnering with the NHL, playing in a building at a smaller scale and growing it through a partnership. So how do we get this game going back? How does women hockey get back, and how? I think the NHL has to step up, because my 3 daughters want to be hockey fans. My 3 daughters want to see the Natalie Spooners, the Caroline Ouellets. They want to see the Marie-Philippe Poulains playing hockey somewhere. They're not seeing that right now.
I agree. I think we need the exposure. We need the marketing. People love to watch us during the Olympics, and then they kind of forget about us. So there's all of those players right now that are, playing in the PWHPA that no one is getting to watch. And I think, I always resort back to that WNBA model. When that started, yeah, it needed a lot of support and maybe people weren't so crazy about it, but look at how far it's come now. Like it's
Right.
holding its own. It's been able to give their players, whether it's players who want to be mothers, it's been able to support them. It's been able to give them so many different things. And I think that obviously in hockey, we need to start somewhere. And I think it would be amazing to partner with the NHL and to be able to have that WNHL model that, yeah, for the first few years, we're going to need that support and make sure we're getting in the buildings. We're making it look professional, right? Like we're having that atmosphere where people want to come in there enjoying themselves. People want to watch it. And the amazing thing about our sport is when people do see us play, they're in awe. Like they maybe haven't watched women's hockey in a while and seen how fast it's gotten, how good it's gotten. So it's about just getting those people back to see it, right? Once they see it, they're going to be hooked. They're going to want to come back.
You know what we almost have to do is go around Canada and just putting a bunch together to beat up on some men's leagues. Just when our new show starts, on spoons, and we go around with our drink. What's our drink called? Spooner or whatever it was?
Well, you called it the Spooner.
Oh, whatever. And I'm sorry, I know my internet's lagging a little, but we should almost just put you out one-on-one against any hockey player in Canada, like in the men's league, just to say, you want some of this? Like, so last year, I skated around with Amanda Kessel, who plays for Team USA, and Natalie Spooner, who is Team Canada, Battle of the Blades judge, Battle of the Blades #2, Amazing Race #2, blah, 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 blah. I would put you up against any one of my buddy friends. And I think your shot is better than any one of my buddy friends, any one of my buddy's friends. Any one of my friends' shots, sorry. My buddy's friends' shots, I was going to say. Any of their shots. Like, it'd be like, have you ever been clocked? Has your shot ever been clocked?
Oh, it has been before, but I don't even remember what it was.
Because I think
I need to do it again.
You know, one of the coolest things about playing hockey is when you shoot into the net and you feel it when it's tight and the puck comes right back out so quickly.
It comes right back out. I love that.
You love that. You love that. We hockey players love that. Yours comes out quicker than most guys I played with. Like, it's pretty amazing. I'd love to see your shot clocked. It's pretty. So when we do our show, I guess we're gonna have to take it on the road. So we'll have to do it on the road. We'll start in. What's your favorite city in Canada?
Well, like, I live in Toronto, so I kind of have to say Toronto, but I mean, I love the East Coast.
Yeah.
I also love, like, Kelowna on the West Coast, like, super beautiful. So I'll go, like, maybe East Coast to start.
Okay, we can go across Canada.
We'll go. So nice and so welcoming. We'll
go across Canada, and we will start our show, our drink. We can go around actually challenging people to a slap shot competition against you.
So
Think of that.
I think we start with a beautiful ice dance, and then we pull out our hockey equipment and we go into slap shot competition.
Okay.
Invite some goalies out. We do some deking competitions.
No. We got something here. Hold on. What if we do this? We do a pairs figure skating routine against any two people.
Yes.
Combined score.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same two people have to play two-on-two hockey.
Yes. Yeah.
And we go across Canada.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a show here.
All right. I know you got another show coming up in a week.
Can you stock up against Spoon? Can you stack up against the stocked spoons?
We're done.
Something like that. We'll think on that one.
We'll think on that one. Great show again tonight. And Violetta and Anthony Stewart are out. The amazing Natalie Splinter look absolutely beautiful tonight. And congratulations on everything you've done. Speak to you again very shortly. And Thursday night, see you again on TV with Battle of the Blades.
Be sure to vote. Don't forget to vote.
Vote and donate.
Yes. Vote and donate.
Ciao, Spoons.
Bye, PJ. Thanks so much.